The elite cabal already have their claws in Bitcoin and now control a very significant piece of it. And in this video, I am going to be outlining why this matters, why it is crucial to focus on, and how this was always the plan. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a quick look at what's been happening over the last couple weeks, well, BlackRock, they bought more Bitcoin this week than any ETF has sold in the past 3 weeks. And if we actually look at this, we can see this. BlackRock is the one in purple. You could see their logo here. It is ridiculous. But this is exactly what BlackRock does. Listen, I have warned everyone about this so many times. And you know what's funny? If we go back to the summer of 2023, I already warned everyone about this. BlackRock was going to be one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. And in fact, they will probably hoard up a very large percentage of Bitcoin, well over, 10%, 20%. Hell, who even knows, right? At some point in the future, comparing, where we are at right now to where we will be at in the future, I do think that BlackRock will probably be the main custodian of Bitcoin, which to a lot of people that might sound crazy right now, but considering how much they are buying, how much they are already holding, it's something that could happen very, very quick. I want to interrupt the video real quick to let you guys know that I have officially partnered up with Bybit, the third largest crypto exchange out there, to offer you guys exclusive rewards and benefits when signing up with my link down in the description below. There's over $30,000 plus worth of welcome rewards that could be yours right now. All you have to do is sign up, trade, and utilize the exchange. This is one of the best exchanges out there, 24/7 support, massive amounts of trading volume in a 24-hour period. They have access to pretty much any market that you can think of around crypto. So what are you guys waiting for? Go and sign up utilizing my link down in the description below and have a good time trading. Over here, for an example, we have Justin. BlackRock has purchased 360,000 Bitcoin worth over 23 billion since January of 2024. Guys, it's been about roughly 9 months. Think about how crazy this is. And by the way, January 10th was when the ETF got approved. It started trading on January 11th. So if we're really kind of looking at this, right, they already hold about well over 2% of Bitcoin now. And in fact, over here we have BlackRock and Fidelity spot Bitcoin ETFs did a combined 1.87 billion in trading volume today. Now everyone's looking at this and they're screaming bullish, 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 higher, higher, higher. And in the short term, yes, we will see higher. But I want you guys to understand that this is the last cycle. And what I mean by that is this is the last cycle to make as much money as you possibly can off of those degen opportunities, off of the crazy volatility, because after this cycle, we are headed into an institutionalization of crypto. That is the wave that we are headed into. And in that wave, we also get regulations. So now regulations hit this market. We no longer have the exchanges that we're used to. Everything is now regulated. And the elite cabal, aka those big institutional players, JP Morgan, BlackRock, Fidelity, Wall Street themselves, they now have their claws so deep in crypto to the point where it is no longer, decentralized markets, decentralized this, decentralized that. No, it is now controlled. And Bitcoin, it all starts with Bitcoin. Why? Well, because we've been starting to see the institutionalization phase hitting Bitcoin in a very, very large way. And even over here, we have global asset manager BlackRock amasses 24 billion in Bitcoin, approaches 2% of total supply. And again, people will scream, pump my bags, BlackRock. But the problem here is BlackRock owning 2% of the total supply. How is that not scary to anyone? When we look at what BlackRock controls, guys, they control about like 50% of the world. They are not the good guys. No matter how much people want to make BlackRock and Larry Fink look like the good guys, they're not. Over here we have from Uphold, BlackRock and MicroStrategy together own roughly 3% of the total Bitcoin supply, valued at an estimated combined 40.8 billion. Do you think having two entities own such a large share of Bitcoin is a net positive for the crypto community? Now, one thing that I will say here is BlackRock is going to continue to buy up Bitcoin. Their ETF is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And MicroStrategy will continue to add more and more Bitcoin to, its reserves. So as we really kind of look at this, right? MicroStrategy's balance sheet grows in the amount of Bitcoin. BlackRock grows in terms of the amount of Bitcoin that they hold as well. That 3% all of a sudden is growing to 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to who knows how many percentages over the next couple of years. Think about MicroStrategy, right? BlackRock is one of the top 3 holders of MicroStrategy stock, which in that essence, MicroStrategy is also, tied right back to BlackRock. BlackRock has so much exposure to Bitcoin, so much control over Bitcoin essentially at this point, and this is only going to continue to grow and grow. But also, think about all of the other institutions tied to Bitcoin. Think about all of the governments tied to Bitcoin. I shared with you guys in a previous video going back to the beginning of September, and I quoted Whitney Webb because what she put out was a great post, and it was more so talking about how the elites have a plan to ultimately control and steal as much as they possibly can of these markets, control these currencies, control everything, right? We're talking about commodities, we're talking about stocks, you name it. And in this, we have the biggest banks and all of the, spooky currency speculators have funded and now control most of the infrastructure underlying Bitcoin, energy chips, ISPs, and general crypto infrastructure. Now, this does go on and mentions a ton of things around, the US government, Silicon Valley, Wall Street bankers, all of them, right? They're using Bitcoin. They're using Bitcoin for a lot of what they're trying to push. And even when we think about the infrastructure, right? Yeah, a lot of the elite organizations are behind the infrastructure of Bitcoin even today. The number one thing we hear from Bitcoin maxis is, oh, look, you can make transactions over Bitcoin right now utilizing Lightning. Guys, Lightning Labs, the creator of the Lightning Network, is endorsed by the World Economic Forum. And even over here, we have Lightning Labs as a partner of the World Economic Forum. This is crazy. And by the way, look at the description under Lightning Labs. They're building a programmable financial layer for the internet with fast, scalable Bitcoin transactions. Wait a second. I thought Bitcoin maxis were against programmable financial tech and currencies. That doesn't sound like a Bitcoin maxi quote there. They're building a programmable financial layer for the internet with fast, scalable Bitcoin transactions, but this is a World Economic Forum partner. Interesting. Now, this video clip here, this is from Mike Benz. This is a great video clip from Bitcoin 2024. We have building a Bitcoin prison. We tried to tell you, Bitcoin is no libertarian movement. It was all created to hurt us in. Many uncomfortable moments in this interview. The Bitcoin maxis were like, who invited this guy? Some people don't want to hear the truth. And yes, Bitcoin maxis don't want to face the truth at all, that Bitcoin itself was created by the elites to usher in all of the retail sector into an asset that doesn't actually have a viable use case outside of what the elites actually want to push. But listen closely to this.
And tying this back to the sort of Bitcoin story, it's the same thing with free speech money. In order, from the State Department's eye view, it's all about capacity building. You want to build up a capacity in these countries to do these things. And cryptocurrency is extremely useful to the state to be able to evade state-controlled banking in other countries. And just a few things here, and then we'll, I think, maybe get more to like our tete-a-tete. But in 2020, the State Department signed a partnership with Circle, USDC, now the 6th largest cryptocurrency, for Circle to we wanted to overthrow the government of Venezuela. There was a guy named Juan Guaido who only got 7% of the vote in Venezuela, but we declared him the president of the country because we wanted to regime change them and frankly take the oil and resources that Venezuela has. And so the problem is if we wanted to fund a dissident group, if we wanted to fund Maduro's army of CIA-backed mercenaries, we couldn't just deposit it into the Venezuelan state system. We had to launder the money in there the same way we had to launder ideas in during the Cold War. And so The State Department signed a deal with Circle, which again now is the sixth largest crypto in all circulation, in order to evade the Venezuelan banking system so that we could fund all their dissidents on a basis that goes directly into their account. And just one last thing on this. In Ukraine, we forced the Zelensky's government in Ukraine to adopt this new digital ID system called DIA. It's a government in a smartphone where all payments are now tracked digitally. USAID got $15 billion to distribute an aid, and Samantha Power, the head of it, and USAID is this front for CIA activity and Pentagon activity. They said the only reason we were able to get so much money out of Congress to do this paying, because they were paying healthcare workers. We're paying for the pensions of everyone in Ukraine through these USAID payments. The issue was Ukraine was a corrupt state. So if you just gave $15 billion to the Ukrainian government, you don't know where the money goes. They could, warlords, they could basically distribute it to their own cronies. But what Samantha Power pitched to Congress is, hey, we have this new totalizing digital payment system so we can track and trace every dollar. And so she was billing it as an anti-corruption mechanism. But that means that the U.S. can trace every single dollar that now flows within the internal ecosystem of Ukraine because of this new digital payment system. And this is really the sort of building a Bitcoin prison. I know it's not Bitcoin in this case, but although it's Bitcoin compatible, it's that sort of building a Bitcoin prison where this thing that you think frees you from the state is actually a tool for total state control.
And, this is exactly why I really kind of focus on what these maxis around Bitcoin push. They're like, all right, well, I could escape CBDCs using Bitcoin. Okay, but everything on Bitcoin, everything on chain it's all transparent. Everything is seen. Everyone's always like, oh, well, yeah, but, I hide behind a wallet address. These things can be easily tracked. All of this can be easily tracked. When we think about crypto itself, it could be easily tracked and traced. It's crazy to me that people still try to push this whole idea around how, Bitcoin is completely free of any, elite manipulation, and it's completely separate from the government, and it's this and it's that. Yet nobody actually knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Okay, number one. But number two, these maxis support things like the Lightning Network, and they don't even read the text on the World Economic Forum's website regarding what Lightning Labs is actually pushing. This is wild to me. But again, this is the typical maxi mentality, the same maxi mentality that is celebrating BlackRock hoarding up significant amounts of their beloved digital currency, Bitcoin, right? Just because they think that it's going to pump the price. I'm telling you guys right now, when I see these arguments around these maxis, it's just comical. But also, he did mention Circle. Okay? Over here we have total state control, track, trace, and control. USDC Circle is BlackRock funded. It is. Anyone can do the research on this. It's very transparent. In the future, the majority of all Bitcoin will be under management by BlackRock. And if you don't think that this is actually a reality, think about how much Bitcoin BlackRock has accumulated in just the last 9 months. When you think about what's happening here, it is crazy. It is truly insane, because if they are purchasing 360,000 Bitcoin in 9 months, imagine how much Bitcoin they will add in the next 12 months or the 12 months after that, especially when we start to see the downturn in the market as well. When cheap Bitcoin hits the market, BlackRock will be accumulating it heavily. I want everyone to be aware of what's happening here, because in a year from now, things are going to look extremely different. In 2 years, it's going to be very, very different. And in 3 years, regulations will hit this market. This market will be institutionalized. And at that point, every Bitcoin maxi that was pushing all the nonsense to everyone to hoard their Bitcoins, hodl, 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 it's, digital gold, it's a store of value, all that kind of stuff. A lot of them will be proven wrong, because this whole idea that, Bitcoin was created as an escape asset to the traditional system. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. And by the way, I want to end this off with a quote here by Jason Denny. We have, when Bitcoin is dominated by institutions and Bitcoiners are seeking approval from presidential candidates, we are in danger of creating centralized, decentralized finance, something the founders never intended. Now, I love this quote. The number one thing that I hate about this quote is the founders never intended. Again, when we think about the founders of Bitcoin, who really are they, right? Nobody actually knows. There's a few names that people can, pick and choose. But for the most part, who actually orchestrated the inception of Bitcoin? There's been a lot of speculation around governments, around the CIA, things like that. I do believe that the government had a major hand in Bitcoin. It's very clear from the inception that it wasn't just, oh, let's use this asset to, escape the traditional system. It's going to be completely separate and this and that, whatever. It was never going to be that. It was never intended to be that, in my opinion, as well. But yeah, I think that when we start to see the maxis pushing for, more buying from BlackRock and Fidelity, and they want, more institutions to custody Bitcoin, they are celebrating banks custodying Bitcoin. It really begs the question, like, what exactly are we wishing for? Because if that is what we are wishing for, I don't think that they realize what is going to happen at that point. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.